Hello. Well, welcome to Burning R&D Post-Apocalypse World Episode 1. If you have been watching on YouTube or Twitch, then you have likely seen the first episode, the first session of Apocalypse World 2nd Edition. And it is a heck of a setting. Ice everywhere, frozen oceans, an oil rig, volcanoes, frozen tidal waves swallowing cities, the whole shebang. I'm not going to explain the entire setting now. Go watch the episode on YouTube if you need to watch it. It's down the Twitch channel is down below on Twitch, and of course the VODs are there, etc. But Burning R&D. Let me just explain that real quick. The whole show. The name Burning comes from the first game we started with, Burning Wheel. Played that for just over a year. Then we moved on to Torchbearer. Then we moved on to, right now, we're playing Apocalypse World. We have a rotating GM style. So all four of the original cast played Burning Wheel. GM'd it, rather. We all had like a season of GMing it. Same setting, same everything, same characters. We just took sort of seasons. Then one of our members, Zentropy, GM'd a 6 to 8 week span of Torchbearer. And now we've moved on to myself, Primarch the Mage, GMing Apocalypse World 2nd Edition. So, we want to find out, we want to experience different games, we want to playtest all sorts of things, what we can learn from them. I know that while we were playing Burning Wheel, we learned a heck of a lot of just how role-playing games work. We want to keep learning, experience different games, all that jazz. So, we have seen how Apocalypse World works, especially through the first edition, and how we're going to explore during the main episodes how it works in play. And now this is exploring how it works in terms of the back end, in terms of the prep, in terms of what it means to game master Apocalypse World. Let me zoom us out a bit, because I have a lot of threats. So this is one of my first GM screens. So there are a bunch of empty threat things here. There's a lot, and I might actually need to make more. Not immediately, but eventually. I have my agenda principles and always say things, moves, etc. all here. Question prompts, so if I ever want to ask questions, I can just use one of these. It's all really useful. So this is what what I spend most of my time looking at during an individual session. I think let's get started. I'll just jump right into it. So Apocalypse World 2nd Edition, in leading up to the first session, I spent the week leading up to it reading the entire, how much is it? 309 pages of the PDF. So I sort of digested it. I didn't speed read it. I sort of, chapter by chapter, learned it. What it said, not what other people said about it, etc., etc. And my first impressions are different than I expected, slightly. Most of it's expected, and it's amazingly well written, just in terms of the descriptions, the book itself. But watching Adam's 2 games of Apocalypse World, he just finished up his 2nd edition playthrough like a game, 2nd edition game, and the 1st edition a while back, the Dampocalypse and the Robot Apocalypse. When I was reading through the threats section, and when I looked at the example threats that they gave, there were and appear to be far fewer countdown clocks than Adam used. Adam, most, if not all of his threats had a countdown clock. I don't think all of them, but I think like 90% of them had a countdown clock. From the way I perceive threats and just the way the book describes them and the examples that they give, countdown clocks are not meant to be extremely common with Apocalypse World. Threats, I believe, are meant to be far more mundane, I suppose, than perhaps in 1st edition, definitely than in Dungeon World. For example, they gave 3 threat examples, only one of which had a countdown clock, 2 of which had custom moves, one of which was that countdown clock one, and one of them was just a threat. No custom move, no countdown clock, nothing. I believe, Vincent intends threats to be sort of like, it's just a thing that's present, and until something makes sense for it to have a countdown clock, give it one. Because the words that he used is, if you have a vision for the future of this threat, give it a countdown clock. Many of the threats here, you don't have to. Vehicles, especially at the start, probably not. Landscapes, maybe. There's one that's landscape, and then there's like terrain. One of them is like very small scale, and one is large scale. So, all sorts of things like that you don't start off with a countdown clock for. So I'm going to be doing things a bit differently than you might see Adam do in his post-apocalypse world. I think I'm just going to jump right into it. So I want to learn the game by the book. So I'm literally looking at the book right now. First things first. Essential threats. Among the first threats you create after the first and second sessions, be sure to create the essential threats. They are, starting at 1, for where the PCs are, create it as a landscape. So let's start with that. Apocalypse World, Session 1, we created the landscape. It is this frozen wasteland, and the PCs specifically are at an oil rig in the middle of a frozen ocean that you can drive across no problem. Like, feet upon probably dozens of feet of the water are completely frozen. We actually have something called the fish fields, and so the water isn't just frozen. There's fish everywhere in the frozen water, and there are herds of like sort of mutant. They're like sheep, but they are carnivorous. Can have like some sort of, we haven't detailed it, but are somehow able to chew through the ice, either with like really strong teeth or something, to eat the fish, and that's what they eat. And so when they're grazing, they are eating fish and licking the salt from the frozen ocean. And they have wool that are used for clothes, and there are shepherds, which are high-ranking, tough members of the oil rig that protect these sheep and herd them. We imagined them to be cow-sized, so they're kind of like a herd, definitely larger than sheep. So that is really cool. Next, well, not next. Let's create that as a threat. The oil rig. People wandering in and out, all sorts of stuff. The ice itself. So, how to create a threat? Let's find out. Create as a landscape. Where are the landscapes? Here we go. A landscape threat can be natural or constructed, whatever size you need it. The burn flats, the ruins of Las Uncles, a poisoned canal, the holdings, bustling marketplace, the warrens of a grotesque den in its depths. Choose which kind of landscape. Okay, is this a prison, a breeding pit, a furnace, a mirage, a maze, or a fortress? Now, we have talked about a few things. We have a news character, and the downside of the downside of his studio is that it attracts an endless stream of desperate people. So I think the oil rig's a breeding pit with its impulse being to generate badness. It is going to just grow and get full of people that are desperate and or useless and or dangerous. Yeah. So let's make that our first threat. I don't remember if we actually named the rig. Let me check something really quickly. I don't think we did. We might just call it the rig, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's just called the rig. We're just going to go with that. So, the threat is called the rig. Well, that's where it takes place. In terms of... What's the wrong one? What is it? Patrick Head? No, it's Contrail. It's Contrail, okay. The rig. But this isn't about the rig itself. This is about the people in the rig. These are people that are streaming endlessly into this. So, what makes the most sense? Let's go with I'll call it the rig for now, I think. There's going to be crowds of people, streams of refugees. Let's call it that, the rig's refugees. Kind is going to be a breeding pit. which is going to be under landscape, so... I'll switch this back to the rig. Honestly, this is about the place. The rig gets more dangerous as things go on. As things get bad, things get very bad. As more people arrive. Impulse. It's literally called to generate badness. Which is perfect, because that's basically any threat is about generating badness. But this is, as more people will stream into the rig, desperate, things are gonna get, difficult. What? Okay. Whoa. Somehow that happened. So, description and cast. The endless stream of people into the rig poses a danger to its inhabitants and stability, because there is only a limited supply of food and a lot of people. We have, I'm going to condense this. We got some more space. Condense, reduce in size. Let's go to 14. Oh yeah, that's better. What's the description, or what's the cast? Firstly, we got Whisk. Whisk the Maestro D, or Maestro D. They are running a soup kitchen slash restaurant slash walk-in clinic, well, hosting the walk-in clinic for our Angel, slash, all sorts of stuff. So they're all about helping the people who are desperate. So they are going to be a significant figure in this. Next person who's going to be involved. You're going to see... Honestly, all the PCs. I'm not actually going to add any of the PCs because I think they're all going to be involved in this. This is going to affect everything. NPCs, though, Mimi. Mimi, I believe, I wrote down something here, which when we were first introducing her, Mimi is the biggest fan of Grigsby, our news. She is an overexcited enigma. I'll go with bubbly, I think. Bubbly makes the most sense. That's what she is. Now, she has... The first session we saw her, she was not her normal self. She saw something, but I think before long she's going to get back to her normal self. And we have yet to see the result of that 6-. I know what's going to happen. I have a countdown clock in mind for this. The entire thing. It starts with Mimi. Now, let's see what other people we've got. Oh, totally. Flockmaster Fleece. Literally the person in charge of the rig. So I'm just going to go Fleece, the Flockmaster. So the shepherds are tough and have authority, and Fleece, she is kind of in charge of all of them. So she wears this thick white woolen, extravagant coat, and of course has a shepherd staff like the others, probably with a few more decorations, maybe some extra capabilities. Maybe, maybe not. And she is in charge of the entire rig, so she's going to be kind of centered to this whole thing as well. Let's find out what else. What other NPCs can we have? PCs are obviously built in. I think we have some detailed people from outside of the rig. I think one of them might show up as this stream of desperate people increases. Might see some NPCs from outside of this in here. But I'm not gonna... I don't think I want to, hose anyone in. Oh, no, I know who's in. Litz. Litz is the representative of, the desperate people themselves. Litz. A single mom with 2 kids. That's her thing, and that's it. She's just trying to get by. We don't know what she does for work yet, but it doesn't have a ton of money. She buys the cheap stuff. She comes in for free food sometimes. She is Whisk's favorite customer just because she's so nice, and that's it. So I think she's going to be. We're going to see things from her point of view, and think she's going to be affected as things get more desperate. Yeah. I'll do stakes afterwards because I think that's going to happen later. Now, where is this on the threat map before I go into the custom move / countdown? Because that is going to happen. There will be a countdown clock. So, threat map. Is it afterwards? Here we go. Threat map. Example threat maps. I don't want an example. I want to show where it is. Here we go. The innermost circle is for PCs, gangs, holdings, vehicles, etc. The first ring out is for threats near the PCs. So I think, and then the outer ring is for things past the PC's horizons. This will definitely be one of the inner, on the inner ring. This will be right around here. And then, it's not north, those are the cardinal directions. Up and down are for ones above and below, so I don't think so. I is for inside, for threats within local landscapes and populations like cults and diseases. It's gonna be, yeah, the local landscape is changing. O is for outside, for threats originating in the world's psychic maelstrom or elsewhere. So that's more supernatural stuff. This is definitely inside and close. So let's go with freehand. Just do green. Bam. That is where this threat originates. It is close to the PCs on the inside. Now, actually, let me check something real quick. The innermost circle. Okay, yeah. So this isn't something that... This is correctly done so far. Now, there is going to be a countdown. And I don't have an image for a countdown, do I? Let me go grab that real quick. Where's a blank countdown clock? Where can I find a blank countdown clock? I could just use the one there. It is kind of like right in the center. I'll just use it. Text. So, first thing that's going to happen to ramp this thing up, and if I have a vision for the future, I'll write a countdown clock. The vision for this that I see is simply overpopulation. There is more people than the rig can handle in terms of food. In terms of space, it's not a huge place. It's winter. You need to be indoors most of the time. Yeah, we're going to have problems. So that's where I foresee this going. That's my vision for the future. And how does this get started? Well, 6 Minus is rolled in the first session about Mimi. She's going to go say hi on the equipment. Well, she is a bubbly enigma. And we explained that there is a scarcity of joy here. I think that Mimi's broadcast attracts the throngs of desperate people. So I'll go with Mimi broadcasts. That's the first thing. Across... I'm just going to call it what I like calling it, the Evercold. That's the name for this, like, entire thing. An endless frozen winter. So, that hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen, like, the roll has already been done, so it's going to happen pretty early on next session. Next, we're going to see the crowds start increase, like, what's the way to put it? More desperate people just start showing up. The stream of desperates grows. Then leading up to 9 o'clock. I think Fleece makes decisions based off of resources. People want in, too many people, and it's getting to too many people at this point. She's going to shut the gates. The gates are shut. Hotel's full, no vacancy. Now things can still be calmed down at this point, but the gates are shut, and the people are still coming. Because they don't know the gates are shut at this point. Grigsby might do a thing. Assuming this is, of course, countdowns will change over play, and assume the PCs don't interfere. The gates are shut. Then thinking, what should happen first? Violence inside or violence outside? The rig. I think violence in both, honestly. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Violence erupts. I'll start with outside. Oh, I know what they do. Violence erupts. The rig is sieged. They came here to, I guess, alleviate their desperation. They're going to do it by force if they need to, and so they're just going to wait. And not happily. Starvation sets in. This is going to be de-harm for deprivation food. This is going to happen both. This is happening both inside and outside of the rig. There are too many people in the rig, even after the gates were shut, to feed properly. It's going to be... No, I'm thinking to change that. I think that would be more interesting if this is happening and Fleece is smart at making decisions. Things are going to happen. It's all going to happen outside the gate. Starvation sets in. Violence will still be a thing, but there's going to be barely enough food for everyone in the rig. The gates are shut. Food is rationed. In fact, no, I'm going to go with food is rationed here. Then the gates are shut completely, with food being still rationed. Starvation sets in, and then oh boy. There's a bunch of people. And if there's a bunch of people and no food, the only source of food might be the people. I'm gonna go with the classic. Cannibalism. No. Mass cannibalism. That's what's going to happen to the crowds. They're going to start turning. And they're, at this point, when things happen up here, at clock segment number 9, when that ticks over, that's when they're hostile and violent against. They want to get in no matter what to the rig. If it goes all the way to 12, you're going to have this like crazy cannibal cult. Good luck. Meanwhile, that is only one threat. Actually, let's stay with it for a while, because firstly, we got some steaks. No steaks for them though. They're starving. So, first question. What do I want to know about this? Fleece is going to do that. The early questions. I don't want to ask any questions too early. What am I curious about? What do I want to know about this? How do I put this? What will the crowds... How will the crowds affect Mimi? Because they came here because of her. They will know of her, and they won't know her by appearance, but if they hear her voice, they will know her as this, like, source of joy. So they will be not romantically or anything, but they will if she was a player character, she would be becoming more Hocus-like. They would see her as this entity and source of joy. She would make them forget everything. So how will the thronging crowds affect her? How will she be changed by that? Will they drag her down? Will she lift them up? Probably somewhere in between. But we don't know. I'm just wondering, honestly, what's going to happen to Litz as this happens? Like, food rations already. She's already struggling. How will more people is going to affect her and her two kids? It's not going to be good. And then I want to know how will Fleece bargain with Whisk? Because Fleece needs Whisk to ration the food, and they need to restrict how much food people are getting, or there's just not going to be enough. So Fleece and Whisk are gonna have to make some sort of deal with Whisk when food is rationed. So I'm curious about that as well. What else have we got? That could be a related threat. I have a future threat in mind that I'm going to make later today. Later this stream. That's about that. That's going to be related to this. But I think... How is Kim going to get supply, Angel Kit supply, when the gates close? Because that's a thing that we have established in the game, that Kim gets her Angel Kit supply by going out of the rig and traveling to a hidden Coast Guard ship that has been crashed and frozen in the ice, and just looting it from there. There's just like probably mountains of first aid supplies there, and so more than like a mechanically unlimited amount are there of supply. And if the gates are closed, how's she gonna get that? So that's gonna be a thing. Let me check my prep. Any other NPCs that are going to be... Any other things that we're really going to need? Camo? I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, Camo. Camo's going to be another person who's going to be into this. What... Well, I'll go add Camo after, but what... Who will suffer the first violence? Because the violence will be done probably by a crowd. Maybe by a single person, we'll see. But it's going to be done to someone specifically. Question is who. I'm not even going to put out ideas for that at this point. I think we'll find out that in play in a number of sessions. We're next going to see Camo is a desperate guy. He acts like he works there. He's incompetent, but he's tough. He drinks sometimes, but always gets removed when he does. So, on a clumsy, I think that's why he's incompetent. A clumsy. He's well-meaning thug. I think he's gonna he could turn into something else entirely, if depending on where he gets placed in this. Oh, that would be interesting, but I think I'm gonna do that something. That's gonna be entirely something else. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we're getting there. We do have a lot of people. A lot of people involved in this. Let's move on to the next threat. I think this is done for now. Next threat. Let's go with... Actually, I'm going to go by the book. I'm not going to go with what I choose to at this time. Essential threats. For NPC's gangs, create them as brutes. We've got one gang. We've got Grigsby's security. I don't have anything in future in mind for these guys at this time, so they're not gonna have a countdown clock. They're not gonna have any of that stuff, but they are going to be brutes. What kind of brutes? Well, let's find out. Hunting pact: victimize anyone vulnerable. Sybarites: to consume someone's resources. Enforcers: victimize anyone who stands out. Cult: victimize and incorporate people. A mob: to riot, burn, kill scapegoats. Or family: to close ranks and protect their own. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to let Grigsby, aka Zentropy, decide what type of brutes these are, because they're his. We haven't really seen them in play much yet. So I will simply say, what kind? I'm going to ask him, and then we'll see how that happens. Now, description and cast. Again, we haven't seen them in play yet, really. So we are going to go with the head of security. It's going to be one. He's going to be the guy in charge. Any other people at this time? Well, when it comes to Grigsby's people, there are two people he has pissed the hell off. Dremor and Fleece. Fleece is pissed because of the endless flock of people, and Dremor is far, far away physically. He wants... I'm just going to say, I think he just wants Grigsby dead. Honestly. I think Grigsby has been talking about that. I don't know anything else right now. I think that's going to be a thing that we see in play. So I think this one might remain bare for now. It exists, but as I said, threats are more mundane than we've seen with Adam's playthrough. This is right in the center. Bam. Impulse, we'll figure it out. Description, the description. Grigsby's security. Now, what did he choose for security? Let's find out. Grigsby chose for his security Small gang, 2 harm, 1 armor, a dedicated security force. So a small gang, somewhere between less than 25 people. Probably a fair amount less. Somewhere between like 10 and 25, I think. Let me check what a small gang is. Small gang is 25 or less. Medium gang is 25 to 50. Large gang is more than 50. That's it. So a small gang, dedicated security force. They're 2 harm and small. Did they have armor? I assume they probably have 1 armor. Let me go check. 2 harm, 1 armor. 2 harm isn't extremely well armed, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. Dedicated security team. The head of security right now, I think, is the only. Let's go with. Well, I think I want 1 more person from the security team involved. I think he's going to be someone. Someone's going to be a traitor. I think someone's going to be a traitor. I don't like it. It feels contrived if someone's a traitor. So no. No traitor. We haven't named the head of security. When we see them in play, Zen's going to name him. And that's it. Simple. There's no more to that. For any PCs, other NPCs that aren't gangs, create them as brutes. Oh boy. We've got a Maestro D, which has 6 NPCs. And we've got... Is it more than 6? It's more than 6. Anyways, we've got a lot of NPCs to create. So for any PCs on other NPCs, create them as brutes, plus a grotesque and or wannabe warlord. So let's get to it. Let's see what we've got. Mimi is kind of already a thing. Don't know if I want her to be her own threat as well. She is. Let's go through everything. I'll go with Mimi last. We have 3 player characters. Kim doesn't have any NPCs. Let's go with Whisk. The regulars are Lamprey, Ba, Kamo, Toyota, and Litz. I think what might make the most sense is to make all the regulars as 1 threat. We have a favorite regular and a best and worst regular. But they all come here for the same reason. So let's check out grotesques. No, I don't think any of them are grotesques. I think they're brutes. I think that... Oh, they're Sybarites. They're totally Sybarites. Let's go to here. Yeah, let's go to here. There's no doubt. So, Whisks, regulars, kind, brutes, Sybarites, for sure. Not even close. Their impulse to consume someone's resources. They're just gonna keep on eating, as people are to do. And next, the description and cast. Well, we've got that in the bag already. Whisk named them all during character creation. So, wait, are there 2 coming? Okay, yeah, there we go. We've got Lamprey, we've got Ba, we've got Kamo, we've got Toyota, we've got Litz. Those are all the people we've got. Now, Litz is elsewhere, as is Camo, but they're still around here too. Lamprey. Camo and Litz are the only two we've seen. So I think I might just say what's up with Lamprey, Ba, and Camo. And Lamprey, Ba, and Toyota. Let's go with Lamprey is someone who would go there to this place. Lots of food and good food. So good food's an option. Lamprey is a large... These are Super 8s, and their thing is about consuming people's resources. We're just going to make them takers. Most of these guys are just takers. The regulars, which is good until you don't have anything for them to get. So, a large overeater. But I want them to be defined by more than that. Just at least one more thing. So I'm going to go with... He's not obese or anything. He just actually has really high metabolism. An agitated overeater. Let's go with that. He has a lot of energy. He's not bubbly or happy like Mimi is. He is just jittery and eats a lot, and yet is like freaking skin and bones. Ba, oh, we can't not have Ba be a shepherd. It's too good. We haven't seen that much of the shepherds themselves. I think that Ba is... What have we got? We got a single mom. We've got a guy who's like tough, but kind of clumsy and incompetent. And he keeps trying to be helpful and not actually being helpful. So I think we're going to have... It's just it's not a best or worst regular, it's just a regular. I think Ba throws parties. Ba is a shepherd. They make lots of money, and there's a lot of food here, so they tend to stop by, buy a lot of stuff in bulk at once, throw parties. A shepherd who hosts parties. Camo, we already know. I'll put it in the exact same thing from before. Camo, where are we? A clumsy, well-meaning thug is Camo. A clumsy, well-meaning thug. And Toyota is last. Now, are we gonna be so, I guess, standard as to call Toyota, like Toyota could be a driver type of character or anything? I don't think so. I think it's something else entirely. I think we need some more Sybarite things. Someone who eats a lot, someone who hosts parties. What other method of consuming resources can you have? Oh. Oh, that could be a thing. Yeah. Toyota. A habitual shoplifter. I think Toyota, up to this point, Toyota hasn't been caught. I think Toyota buys things for sure. But along with buying things, there's usually one or two things on the sides in her pockets. Things like that that she might frisk, pick up, and leave with without paying for. Yeah. And then Litz is just the person we've already seen. A single mom. 2 kids, boy and girl. They don't have names. At this point, they don't need names yet. Maybe they might later. Don't know. But they're both super young. And that's that. So, stakes. First thing I want to know, what do the regulars do in times of hardship? Do they stop coming here? I don't think so. I don't think that's a good stakes question. Actually, I think that they will consume more if they're stressed. They'll come by more. I think that they want to consume someone's resources, and they're not going to want to pay for it. I think my question is, how far can Whisk be pushed? Because I think they're all going to, in their own ways, with their own motives, some selfish, some not, be pushing Whisk for handouts, for free stuff, for different things like that. I think that's going to be an important thing. Next. I think that's it for now, actually, for this threat. I don't have a countdown in mind. I don't have a vision for the future of the Sybarites, of Whisk's regulars. I don't have any stakes questions regarding them right now. But are there any I can think of that are good? Let's see. Lamprey. We already had Kettle disappear. Which we'll get to, the disappearances. But I'm going to think that Toyota's habitual shoplifter. Is there a good stakes question about that? Yeah, of course there is. What happens when Toyota's caught? I don't think it's an if. I think it's a when. How badly does Camo screw up? Does Camo have to screw up? And then another thing I'm curious about. Does Whisk sell anything under the counter? Because Bob might want some of that. And then Cabo is a well-meaning thumb. We already have a thing about him, Toyota. Litz is just trying to get by. So I think my only other question is, who is going to disappear? But I don't know if that's related to this threat specifically, so I'm going to remove that. Lamprey is an agitated overeater. I think Lamprey's fine. I think we're good. Yeah. I think we're good. Maybe one more. Replacing this. Will Whisk sell contraband to Ba? Because Ba's gonna ask. Ba's gonna be like, I'm having a party. Got anything special for that? And Whisk might if Ba pays, but might not. So this is not something the PCs own. This is something, again, in. I think this is the same place as the landscape because it's part of it. Alright. 3 threats down. A few to go. I'm not counting. So, other NPCs. Oh, of course, we've only done Whisk's regulars. We've got more for Whisk, and we've got more for Grigsby. So, let's switch things up to Grigsby. I'm in the mood for Whisk. Let's go with that. Let's stay with Whisk. So Whisk has 3 more people: Bean, Rolfball, and Gams. Gams wants in on it. He's a real estate wolf. Vulture. Takes things over. Whisk doesn't like how they're run when he does. It's not run poorly, but they don't treat their people well. I think Whisk is a person of high morals, especially for the apocalypse. Gams is not. So I think the next thing's going to be... Let me move that and try it again. Gam's proposal. Because that Gam... Let's do Gam's buyout. So, I can create occasionally a grotesque or warlord. Now, there's either a warlord... I was thinking either Bean... or Gam. Another option is for Dremmer, but Dremmer's obviously a warlord, honestly. Let me go look at warlords. Where are warlords? Vehicles, terrain, landscapes, brutes, afflictions, grotesques. Warlords, the first one. Okay. Here we go. I can't not. Gam is a warlord and a half. He is a collector. And his impulse is very, very simple to own. So, we need some descriptions and some casts. I don't actually have a description for Whisk's regulars, but I guess the title describes it all. They're just the people who are Whisk's regulars. Gam is a real estate vulture. And Whisk doesn't like how he runs. Is Gamma? No, let's say Gamma's a guy. Businesses. So, of course, Gam is going to be in the cast. Now, Gam, of course, is not a poor man. Gam owns people, places. I think that Gam has people. Let's grab a name for a gunlugger. I like Rex. Rex. Gam's, let's go with Enforcer. It's one guy who tends to, if Gam doesn't get what he wants his way, Gam gets what he wants Rex's way. And I think the other person involved in this, we haven't talked about them yet, Haas. In charge of the Grow Labs, working on the big windmill. Haas is the mind behind the Grow Labs. The Grow Labs are the labs where the plants grow. can't grow them outdoors, it's winter. You got an entire floor dedicated to indoor plants, and Haas is the one in charge. So, Haas, the obsessive... I don't like obsessive. The senile, eccentric. There we go. Biologist. Perfect. So, stakes. What have we got for stakes? I'm going to wait, actually, for stakes, because, of course, I do have an idea for a countdown clock for this. Now, this is not something inside or outside. Well, I guess it is kind of inside, because it's where they are, but no, it's not one of them. I think it's a bit further away, though. Come on. Get in here. Gam is elsewhere in the rig. He's not right on top of them. He's not everywhere. He owns other sections of the rig, and perhaps other sections of other towns. Doesn't have to be from here. So I think it's further away. And next, the countdowns. You know, I've only had one over here, so let's cast. Let's do this. So, how is this going to work? The vision for the future that I have is that Whisk is sabotaged and can't support themselves without Gam's barter, resources, money, people, supply chain. So I think this is less about Gam directly, though there is going to be some of that. It's going to be a lot of Gam. There was a deal made between Haas and Gam, between Haas and Whisk. Haas supplies Whisk with all the fruits and vegetables that they need to supply other people with, and that deal was made by. Let's go check. Rolf Ball. Rolf Ball is currently still owed with for that. So I think that Gam already. I'll check actually. Stakes. Did Gam already make an offer to Whisk? Because if he didn't, that's what we'd start with. I think he did. I'm gonna presume in certain situations, and this I think, yeah. I think that could be it. How does Gam work? I don't think Gam is a warlock. He's gonna own no matter what. But he doesn't tend to be extremely violent. But that Rolf Ball character, that's kind of the crux of it. You can get rid of Rolf Ball, or maybe make Rolf Ball speak bad. Rolf Ball. We know he's buddy-buddy with Haas. Friend, let's go with, yeah. Bam. Gam. So if I were Gam, I want to sabotage Whisk in order to come in and buy him out. I would go straight for Rolf Ball. Rex pays a visit. To, let's go with, firstly, Rex is going to pay a visit to the wood stove. One last chance. Then, if that doesn't work, he's going to pay a visit to Rolf Ball. That's not good. Then, I think I'm gonna. I don't think he knows, but yeah, okay. Rex, Gam finds out where Whisk. Well, everyone knows where they would get that. Gam finds out about. How do I slow this down a bit? Rex pays a visit. Warning, last chance. Something bad could happen. The fire insurance scam, etc. Then, Gam would. I'm going to assume Whisk says no, because Whisk has already said no. So Gam's going to say, okay, he said no. Let's make him say yes. Rex pays a visit to the wood stove at night. I'm just gonna to Whisk, and that's not good. I think Gam's gonna pay a visit to the wood stove, accompanied by Rex. Rex pays a visit to Whisk, etc. Then yeah, Rex pays a visit to Rolf Ball, and now this is teetering on the brink, because unless Rolf Ball is gonna Rolf Ball calls off the deal. That's where he doesn't have food anymore. Then when would Gam being Gam, he'd come in just at the last opportune moment. The supply of food runs out, and Gam swoops in to save the day. That's how he sees it. In fact, I'm gonna put saves the day right at the top. Bam. Done. That's Gam. Rolf Ball's involved in this. Now, Rolf Ball is owed by Whisk. I don't think that's going to be a threat. I think that's going to be that's going to simply color how they interact with each other. Bean's a whole nother story. Bean wants the place gone. Bean doesn't like welfare. Bean doesn't like people being given free food. Bean thinks it's a waste of resources, and Bean's kind of a dick, as we have seen in the first session. So, let's find out. Let's find out what he does. I don't have anything in mind for him. I think Bean may be the dick, and maybe more brazen. Gam's the real danger. Bean's just a pampered person, son of Fleece. So I'm not going to make a countdown for him. Bean is a dick. I'm just going to literally call it that. Bean is a dick. Kind. Oh, he's totally a brute. Him and his thugs are brutes. Likely a hunting pack. Most definitely a hunting pack. Brutes. Hunting pack. They are going to victimize anyone vulnerable. They ain't gonna be nice. Description and cast. Bean. Smirking the Smirking Prince. Because that's basically what he is. Now, he has people with him. Let me go find out those people. Yeah. Mercer. Fleece's guy. Tends to also escort Bean around to listen to him when he needs to. He's not that happy with it. And then, did I ever name the last person? I know I named the last person. Did I write down that name? What the heck is How's the Curry? I can't remember. Oh, it's when, yeah, I remember that. Okay. Oh, Rig is expecting. I have 3.5 pages of stuff to sift through. It's kind of fun, but lots of stuff. What does the chat log say? Did I write it down anywhere? That's how augury works. That's how that works. Nope. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Previous. Nope, okay. So, if it isn't written here, I will go look on the VODs. Because I can do that. Because recording! So, another person. Check VODs. I will do that later. Next, the stakes. Let's go delete that and get a smaller one. Who is... Yeah. Who will Bean... Which of Whisk's regulars... I cannot type on my notebooks right there. Will Bean hurt? Because he is gonna. Find out which one now. Well, now. Soon. Now, the other... I don't remember the name of the other person, but how long... The other person, I remember, they rolled their eyes, they sort of, like, went along with it, but weren't happy with it. Will other person go along with it? Because she feels like a babysitter, that other person. Let me see if I can go grab their name anywhere. Nothing's standing out to me. Nah, nothing's standing out to me. So I will go go look up the name later. Custom moves. Would Bean require a custom move? He's no Jeanette. But I think... Oh, I know. It's going to be a thing of go aggro. Basic moves. Sucker someone, seduce or manipulate. Read a sitch, read a person, open your brain to the world's like a maelstrom. When you go aggro on Bean, when he's escorted, how do I alter this? Okay. I don't know if I want a custom move for this. If he was escorted... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. When he's alone. Treat a 7 to 9 like a 10 plus. He's a wuss when he's alone. There we go. That's it. What is 26? Okay. Too large. Yeah. Bean is a wuss when he's alone. Bam. Yeah, I'm used to things like custom moves being harder. Not against Bean. Okay. Next, Bean is dealt with. I think that is all of Whisk. Next is Grigsby. We have his gang. I think we have Mimi involved very much in her own threat, so I don't think she's going to be a threat herself. I think that the last two, we've got Dremmer. We've got the informants. I think they could be related. I think someone wants to know. Well, let's see. Brutes. Informants. I think they might be a family. That makes sense as well, because if they are ever victimized, they'd cut off ties. Yeah. Yep. They're gonna do that. Protect themselves. So, Grigsby's informants. Kind, Brutes, family. Impulse. This includes Whisk. Whisk is an informant, but I think that, well, she is a player character, so she's not bound to this. I might make a special move about that. Yeah. When Grigsby reads does something with one of his informants, I'll make a special move for that. But anyways, Impulse. Cut tie. Let me check. Do I have roots? Yeah. Close ranks, not close. To close ranks, protect their own. And so this represents them, like, closing ranks from Grigsby. Like, they gotta protect themselves. Because I think people are coming for them. Someone wants to find out who they are. And I think that, description and cast, that's pretty easy. Whisk. Harrow. He's a security guy, and the guard a guard in... It says Port Town, but we ended up naming that town. Next page. Not that I see. Something with, like, dock or something. Some sort of dock thing. The dockyard. There we go. A guard in the dockyard. And lastly, we've got Jakabaka, a nomad. He might show up at some point. He will show up at some point. Those are all page 14, so let's reduce that to 14. Done. Whisk is a player character. Don't need nothing. Let's go with the Maestro D. Bam. Those are Grigsby's informants. So, stakes for this. There are a couple of people that could be. Who is hunting for Grigsby's informants? Because I think someone is. The two obvious ones in mind are the two people that he's pissed off. Fleece and Dremmer. Could be someone else, though. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Who is hunting for them? Because we don't know. Next. Which informant gets attacked first? How, will they talk? Because that's what they want. The guys are hunting for Grigsby's informants. They want them to stop talking. Alright. So, I didn't mark that. Hold on. Just a sec. All these have been marked on the map. The top row has been marked on the map. Bean is a dick has not been marked on the map. But he is a dick. Grigsby's informants. We have all of that dealt with. I don't like will they talk. Eventually they're going to talk. That's part of the countdown clock. That's going to be a thing. Can they be convinced? Or not can they? Will they be convinced to come back? To stay on with Grigsby? Custom moves and countdowns. I think both of those are going to be a thing for this. I think that these are, again, actually no, these are here. These are the PCs have informants. So this is one of these things. These are right in the center. They aren't all local. They all broadcast through encrypted signals. Let's find out. For sure. So, someone listens in on an encrypted, what was formerly encrypted broadcast. Someone cracks it, gets in. Next. The person Are they attacked? Do they just disappear? Will they just be taken? I think they'd be attacked. Yeah. The informant, whoever was in the 3 o'clock one, that person is gonna get attacked. But then what? Then what indeed? How do they go from one informant to Whisk? Because Whisk is there live. I think that's going to be the... I'm just going to say. They learn about all of the informants. Somehow. They'll figure it out later. Informants are attacked. All of the informants are attacked. Then, if they don't back down from helping... Oh no, someone is asked to turn traitor. Yeah. The informant is you. How do I put this? The informant helps attack Grigsby. That's it. That things are going badly here. The informant turns traitor. The informant gets attacked. Someone listens in on an encrypted broadcast. The informant helps attack Grigsby. Then, well, Grigsby's been attacked. We don't know who this person is yet. Someone is doing this. We find out who the informant is at this point. By like the 9 o'clock one we would. We don't know now. And then Grigsby's been attacked. What would be the end point of this? The end point of this is Grigsby has no people. So no Grigsby is nothing. They want to reduce Grigsby's influence. So the radio station is attacked. I'm gonna go with the studio is attacked. And then studio's destroyed. So this threat isn't coming from the informants specifically, but the informants are being used as the way to express this threat. Without the informants, nothing could really be done. People know where Grigsby is, but they want to get Grigsby out of the way in order to attack the studio, which they could do. Yeah, they want him. No matter what. Still not sure if it's Dremmer, Fleece, or someone else new. We'll figure that out after. And then, I think that might be it for... That's not it for Essential Threats. There's one more. Vehicles. For any local populations, create afflictions. That might have already been done. Huh. Could be an affliction. Disease to shatter condition to expose people to danger. Um, barrier to impoverish people, sacrifice, leave people bereft. I am going to check the landscape things. Okay, yeah, landscapes are for literal just places, not for people. So I'm going to switch this just a bit. This ain't a landscape. As much as I like landscape breeding pit, this is going to be an affliction. So the affliction, for any local populace, create an affliction. This is this. What is it? Disease, saturated population? No. Condition to expose people to danger? That is exactly what's happening here. Let me just double check. Custom to promote, nope. Delusion to dominate people's choices and actions. That's even better. Affliction. Delusion. So, the whole shtick is that people are coming to the rig because they believe that things are good and safe and relatively happy here. That is a delusion. That is why they stay here. No matter what. That's why they stay outside when the gates are locked. So, totally switching this. To dominate people's choices. I don't know what I was typing there. To dominate people's choices and actions. What is the 26? I'll probably go to something less. 22 for this one because it's longer. Done. Now let's make the actual landscape. So terrain are a small and immediate piece of landscape. Nope. Nope, no terrains. But then landscapes. The icy stuff. Oh, that would be prison to contain. So this is, for landscapes, I'm thinking just the iciness. Like, just literally the ever cold, the frozen ocean, like, could just be that. That's sort of everything. Within that, there's the oil rig. And the frozen ocean surrounding it. Let's expand it a bit. Examples, yeah, the burn flats, the ruins of a place, a poisoned canal, the holdings bustling marketplace, the warrens of a grotesque den in its depths. So it could be a flexible size. The fortress has an impulse to deny access. The maze has an impulse to trap and frustrate passage. A mirage has an impulse to entice and betray people. Furnace to consume things. A breeding pit to generate badness. And a prison to contain or deny or egress. I think I'm going to make this a breeding pit. And I think it's going to tie in. This is going to be the threat that is going to involve those wolf creatures. This is a breeding pit for them. And other similar creatures. These are not unique. The wolf bears, the snow wolf bears, polar wares, wolves and bears, wolves. There's probably a word for it. Beowulfs, polar beowulfs. Here we go. So this is going to be a breeding pit to generate badness, to have things show up, basically. Yeah, disgorge some. Yeah. The fish fields. That's the landscape. Kind. That's not a mirage. I'm double checking everything. It's a breeding pit. it's still totally a breeding pit. And then, like before, it's going to be a to generate badness. Simple. Description and cast. Down to 14, and the polar wolf bear things. The shepherds. They are the people out there. And their sheep. That's not how you spell shepherds. There's an H in there. I think. Got it. Fifi and Sibel. They are the two shepherds who were attacked by the polar wolf things. I don't have a vision of the future in mind for this. I think it's just really dangerous right now out on the fish fields. So you're gonna come across creatures like that, and sometimes you're gonna get attacked. But I don't have anything in mind for that changing or getting worse or anything right now. So that will be. What are we thinking? It's not a cardinal direction. It's not really something within. It's literally without. North, under, above. I've always thought of it as north in my mind, but it's close. So I'll go with that. Stakes. Oh. Oh. Hello there. What is going to happen? What will happen to the sheep? Because if the doors are closed and the sheep are outside, how is that going to work? Yeah. Next. So the attacks are just going to keep happening. They're not going to get worse. They're not going to be like, oh, everything's horrible. It's just a threat, a danger. Will someone... Where is the den of these creatures? That's one thing to know. Are there any other questions you want to know right now for this? The fish fields? The wolf creatures, we know about that. We know they attack shepherds. But they're after the sheep. We know that already. Can the sheep be kept safe? We don't know if they can be. And that's fine, and also I need to make a custom move for this against Grigsby's informants. I think it's going to be... They're about reading them. Hold on, let's see what we've got. Succoring, doing battle, seducing or manipulating, helping interfere, reading a situation, reading a person in a charged interaction, roll plus sharp. Now, Grigsby can already always tell if someone's telling the truth. And my move was going to be specific to Grigsby. So, I don't think that I need to make a custom move for this. Yeah. Can the sheep be kept safe? And then I'll make a custom move just in case it comes up. when you go hunting for predators of the fish fields. Thinking sharp. Sharp makes the most sense. Roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus. What are the options? You find it, obviously. They don't pick up your scent, obviously. And the other thing is the cold. Choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. You find it. You find the den. Your scent is not picked up. The cold. So if you were affected by the cold, it doesn't. Okay. You don't take 1 harm from the long cold. Now I want this to be really difficult because hunting for predators, white-furred predators on ice, it's difficult. Now they're likely going to choose to take 1 harm from the long and cold. Why is this a good move? I'm going to go... I want to change it in some way. I don't think it's going to be a choice. On a 10 plus, you find the den. On a hit, you find the den. Find the den. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. Your scent is picked up. It took a while, and the cold bites for 1 harm. Make the harm move. I don't know if it's going to be they, because I don't know for sure if it's going to be multiple. It's probably going to be multiple. Let's go with, your coming is known. Or your scent is picked up. Perfect. That's better. That's much better. Yeah. Next. Go back to essential threats. All NPCs have been dealt with. Landscapes have been dealt with. Populations have been dealt with. The World Psychic Maelstrom, we'll have almost not seen her all yet, so I'm going to wait to do that. Two of them have... One of them is +1 weird, 2 of them are -1 weird. We might not see much of the Maelstrom. I haven't been able or been given the opportunity to ask any questions. We have seen Augury in play during the first session, but that was very much scientific. He didn't enter the Maelstrom with his mind. He was physically given an image through electricity and needles and stuff like that. So, Maelstrom's going to wait. The last essential threat the vehicles. And by vehicles, I mean vehicle. Kim's snowmobile. That is the vehicle. What type of vehicle we got? Vehicle threats, vehicle threats. Here we go. Any vehicle distinctive enough to be described individually is a vehicle threat. Hooch, the chopper's aggressive, roaring guzzler of a bike. Okay. Yeah. Choose which kind of vehicle. Relentless, cagey, wild, ferocious, vicious, or bold vehicle. Well, let's go to Kim. What did you choose for your vehicle? Where is your vehicle written down? Stock? You didn't... Did they not write any of this down? Because Did I write it down? Because I assumed they were writing it down. Let's hope I did. I did. That helps. Bike frame, Zero Massive Battle Road. It has off-road and ELZ repaired. It is vintage. It is loud. It is rabbity. It has +1 handling. So, yeah. Looking at the impulses, I think that it's... I think vicious is going to be its thing. It's real fast. Well, it's off-road, easily repaired, vintage, loud, rabbity, and +1 handling. So it jumps up a bunch. It's loud. Ferocious means to outrun. And I think if something bad happens, well, Kim's gonna get knocked off of this thing, and it's gonna keep going without him. Yeah. Yeah. Vehicle threats are still kind of weird, but perhaps I'll get used to them. We might not, and we'll see if we see him behind the vehicle at all. So, kind, ferocious, bastard is what it says to choose. Did I spell ferocious right? I did. Okay, cool. Impulse. To outrun. And cast. Description and cast. Unless someone else chooses to take it from him. Kim. Core. That is it. That is the cast. Also, I guess I'll name it. It's called Red Fox, right? Red Fox 1. Which I'll call it here. Red Fox 1. Stakes. It's not an especially valuable vehicle. So, are there any questions that I have about this vehicle right now? Specifically the vehicle. It's easily repaired. Who repairs it? If I just do... Oh well. Custom move. Countdown. No need for either of those. And also it's right in the center. Okay, I have only a couple more things left to do. Now, those are the essential threats completely done. There are a few more threats that I have in mind that we haven't yet dealt with. Number 1. This is where stuff gets real. I'm following the rules, so the essential threats have been done first. But people are disappearing. Felice is interested in Kim's augury ability. And There's one other one that I'm actually blanking on. Oh, yes. The shepherds and their guns. And, as another one, Kim's Secret. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be very fun. Let's find out what happens. So, those have all been dealt with. Okay, so let's go with... I think I have an idea of who's causing the disappearances. I'm not going to say, but I know. I think I know who it is. I think I'll just put it in here for my own prep. Haas's obsession. That's going to be a thing. Get rid of that S. There we go. Haas's obsession. Kind. Grotesque. For sure. I don't know why Haas is doing what Haas is doing. That's going to be one of my 6 questions. Is Haas a cannibal? Craving satiety and plenty? Maybe. Is he a mutant? I don't think so. Is he a pain addict? No. A disease vector craves contact, intimate and or anonymous. Maybe. Perversion of birth. I don't think he craves. Is Haas? I don't know if Haas a guy or a girl. I can't remember. It was described. Maybe neither. Haas. I think. Oh, you might be a pain addict. We don't know why people are disappearing. I think this is somewhat recent, and I don't think it's because they like it. I think they need it. I think it's a mindfucker. Grotesque. Cannot spell. Impulse. Well, the impulse of a craves mastery. Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't make sense to me. Could be a disease vector. Yeah. Craves contact with people. Now Haas... Oh, but Haas and Rolf Ball are a thing. Does Rolf Ball know? Alright then. Pain addict it is. Craves pain, its own or others. Rolf Ball, is Rolf Ball the greatest example of this, or the greatest, or the one exception? Firstly, Haas is taking people. Why? Why don't they come back? Or rather, what happens to them? Does Rolf-Ball know? Is Rolf-Ball the great exception or the great example? Or the great victim? There we go. What happens when, like, they need Haas? That's the thing. As far as I know, they need Haas to run the plants, to run the grow farms. So then, what will be done when Haas is discovered? Is it a crime? I'm sure it's a crime. Yeah. Stakes? This is... This is that. What will be done when Haas crimes are revealed? Next, description and cast. Well, description and cast, description and cast, description and cast. Haas, Rolf-Ball. Kettle was taken recently. Dogmeat, the old medic, disappeared. So, let's see. Whisk's employee was taken recently. Dogmeat, the old medic, disappeared a couple weeks ago. Rolf-Ball, his lover. Haas, the mind behind the grow farms. What do we got next? Is Kettle still alive? Is Dogmeat? How have victims changed? Because if they are still alive, if they've changed. Who will Haas abduct next? What? Oh, go down to your proper size. There we go. Okay. There has to be a custom move obsessed with Haas. I will think of one shortly. But for now, got us a countdown. So, what is the vision for the future that I see? Oh, actually, oh, it could be that. The thing about Haas is that they want to continue on just doing what they do, taking people and hoping nobody notices. And so far, No one has done anything yet. So the first tick will be a player-based. Someone investigates the disappearances. So that's going to kick this whole thing off. Otherwise, people are just going to keep disappearing quietly. Just no one talks about it, or stops talking about it very shortly afterwards. If that happens, well, someone investigates. Someone begins investigating. Let's go with that. Haas. I don't know if Rolfball knows. But that's going to kick this whole thing off. I think that if he realizes that he's getting investigated, he or she or they, I guess they. Oh, I never thought about that. I wonder if the fact that someone non-binary also being a serial killer is odd. It's kind of too late, and I might choose a gender for Haas specifically because of that. Haas is also a brilliant mind, and more than just that, but still. Let's go with... female leadership is a thing that we have already with Felice, and I think Haas will be a guy then. So Haas is a guy, unless the videos say otherwise in the VODs. Maybe Haas is a girl, or something else. I don't know. Haas. How will Haas react when he knows he's being investigated? Someone is going to push the players into investigating. So, the informant of someone is abducted. The abductions then grow more frequent. So they're going to happen like every night or every other night. So far it's been only 2 abductions that we know of, 2 weeks apart or so. So they're going to start growing more and more frequent. And then, after that, the 9 o'clock thing, what will happen that you cannot really change things? Oh man, I don't think he's abducting them and killing them. I think something is, I think he's changing them. Yeah, I think he's changing them for something. The abductees, is that really it? Abductees? Yeah. The abductees start changing. Whatever that means. $11 o'clock. The Haas starts changing at 11 o'clock. The change, the metamorphosis is unleashed. Whatever that means. It might be that people turn into like weird zombies. It might be something else higher. I think that I'm going to change this back. Again, I'm sort of going back and forth. It is going to be Oh. Grotesque. Gonna crave mastery over the people it's abducting, over something. And I think that's... yeah. Where is this? We don't know anything with the World Psychic Maelstrom. I'm tempted to put it somewhere related to that, though. Very mildly. And close, because of course it's still happening in the rig. So that's only been the people disappearing. We've got a few left to do. Someone knows the identity. Can I just... yeah. Someone knows the identity of Kim. So let's go check that out. Kim's secret. Kind. Someone is after Kim. I'm thinking it's another grotesque. Because this is a singular person. This is a singular person who is a mutant. Did I? Yeah, I did. They crave restitution and recompense. So they want some sort of payback, whatever that means, in whatever weird way that means, for Kim. And at this time, Kim and the deceased Dogmeat are the only two people related to that, I think, right now, at this time. Someone suspects that Kim is not who she says she is, and they want to learn the truth. Perfect. Now I think what I haven't done properly yet is set up these PC, NPC, PC triangles. So I think I might know who that is, because I think most, but not all, but most of these, the NPCs that they've seen in the Spotlight so far, have some pretty good triangles with multiple threats. Two that let's see, Gam and Bean and Mimi are the three NPCs that come to mind. And, oh, it's totally Litz. Never mind, it's Litz. I'm not, yeah. Litz had a, like, we just know that Litz is, like, the father for two kids just isn't in the picture. Dogmeat's the old medic. Dogmeat died. Or maybe yeah, I think there's all sorts of stuff that's happening with that. I think that's what's up. It's Litz. It fits too perfectly. So that's gonna be a thing. So stakes. Why does Litz suspect? Does that matter? I don't care. What does Litz want? How will she find out the truth? How far will Kim go to protect her secret? And I think that's all the stakes we need, because that's what this is all about. So, now new clock. Let's go with this. Let's goes through Kim's Angel Kit. That's happened. We've had that happen already. Let me up that to 22. So we've had that happen. It's been done. Looking for information. Didn't find... Well, it may have found some, actually. I think... Litz is then going to go through Kim's house. Yeah. And then... Not Kim. Litz is going to keep on stalking. Follows Kim to the Coast Guard ship, where Kim goes to get her supplies. And then, I think... Oh, let's go with... Kim knows, or Litz knows the truth. Litz goes to Grigsby. And for now, the truth is exposed. That's what I'm going to think happens. So I'm going to add another thing. What? Okay. Confronts Kim. Yeah. She's going to confront Kim first. Yeah, I'm going to switch this to learns the truth, because when Litz learns the truth, that's when things get real. Then confronts Kim. Then goes to Grigsby. And then if that still doesn't work, then Litz goes straight to Felice. Bam. So that's good. Next, I should you are right here, because you are what a PC has, very much so, a secret. Next, we've got second to last threat that I have right now. Kim's Secret Admirer is one, and then Felice is interested in Kim's augury. So let's go with Felice's recruitment. Kind. Felice is a warlord. Pretty obvious. Dictator to control, for sure. Warlord, Dictator. Fleece wants control, because she does make smart decisions most of the time. And she knows that she does, so she wants to make all the decisions for everyone, then no one has to worry about anything. So, description and cast. Fleece saw Kim's augury and wants to use it / her. I'll reduce that to 22. There we go. Stakes. The obvious one, how far will Fleece go? Or rather, if Fleece can't have it, can anyone? Because I think the counterclock will answer how far she'll go. But if Fleece can't have it, is anyone allowed to? And then what else? Well, firstly, how does Kim know how to do that? How do we put this? I don't think that Kim is the first. What other Maelstrom related things does Fleece control? I said Kim, I meant Fleece. What other Maelstrom related things does Fleece control? I think... Do I have any more questions right now? Fleece wants to recruit, control, or even use herself Kim's augury ability. Will Fleece... I think... Well, yeah. Will she consider... She would... Yeah, I have no more questions. Not ones that are pressing on my mind. Not ones that just float out of me. So yeah, that's it. Do I have a countdown in mind for this? Vision for the future? Well, Fleece does. Fleece is a vision for the future, and that's owning Kim or the ability. One of the two. Now, I'm going to assume, in this countdown clock initially, that Kim won't go along with it. So, number 1, Fleece herself visits Kim, asks about augury, then tries to recruit. Just immediately, then and there. I think that's what she'd do. I'm going to assume Kim will say no. If she says yes, then that's it. Threat's done. It's no longer a threat. Kim is cool with it. But if Kim is very secretive, if Fleece still wants Kim, Fleece would try to... Or Fleece tries... She could get Whisk kicked out, but I don't think that'd be enough. Or get Whisk to kick Kim out. Sends Mercer to let's go with Mercer. Looks around Kim's house, looking for any sort of thing they could use to bargain, leverage, maybe a secret, but we don't know if, in fact, that's a threat. Not a threat, stakes. Will Fleece discover Kim's secret? Because if she does, she would be more than willing to look past it and suppress it in exchange for Kim's service. Mercer looks around Kim's house. Honestly, final countdown clock being that Fleece owns or controls Kim. Not Kim specifically, but Kim's augury ability. I'm going to assume it's possible to do without Kim, because Kim herself is kind of someone doing things for impersonating other people. So Fleece learns this how to augury. That's the first thing. That's going to be like Fleece knows how to do it. If Kim doesn't go along with it, I don't see any way, in right now at least, that Fleece can make Kim work for her, other than a straight up offer. Kim is kind of can leave whenever they want to. Investigates Kim. I think that's going to be looking around their house, and maybe that's going to be following them to the Coast Guard ship, etc. Fleece learns how to augury. That's somehow from looking around through Kim's stuff, depending on the answer. We don't know yet. And I think that's where things can still go right. I think things will go wrong because Fleece needs people to augury through. And you know how bad things can get when you roll badly in augury. So, something goes wrong. Just gonna call it that. Someone dies. I don't. Fleece awakens from her coma. Changed. Fleece awakens from the coma. I think somehow Fleece is going to be put into a coma. And then, after she's awakened, Fleece is going to recover. Think that then we're going to have a changed Fleece resumes or takes command. Okay, perfect. So that's a thing. So what's gonna happen here? Dictator. This is definitely in because it's their kind of leader, but it is Maelstrom-y. And I don't want too many things to be in the in section because on the actual threat map that's gonna mess things up. So it's gonna be there. It is Maelstrom related. Yeah, you're gonna have it starts off in. If Kim doesn't go along with it, honestly, Fleece doesn't know what she's doing with this. Gonna experiment, and you know how experiments with the Psychic Maelstrom goes. Poorly is the answer. And then we only have one more. Now, what was that one more? Kim's good. Whisk is good. Dremmer. I think it's Dremmer. With the guns. I think there's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think Dremmer's the king wolf. And he is, has his sights set on the riches of the rig. And he also just doesn't like Grigsby as well. I don't have a cast here, so let me finish this up real quick. So firstly, cast Bean. Bean will know. Bean, I think, is going to be the guy who's might be like, this isn't the same fleece. Bean's going to have a new role in that part. Kim, of course. Mercer is going to be involved in this. What else? Or rather, who else? I think that... What was her name? Fifi had the augury performed on her. Fifi is going to be as well a thing. Okay. Now let's go talk about the wolf in sheep's clothing. We don't have that many shepherds that have been talked about yet. Ba, Fifi, Sibel, and Fleece herself. That's all we know. So that's all we know about the shepherds. So, kind, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is the threat from Dremmer, made possible and real and enacted through a traitor in the ranks. I think this wolf in sheep's clothing, if Dremmer has likely promised them control. I'm thinking they might be a warlord. They also might be a perversion of birth, actually. Craves overthrow. The ruin of all. Quite possibly. Afflictions? No. Brutes? No, that's just one person. Let me check warlords. Slaver to own and sell people. Hive Queen. I think Dremmer is a distant thing right now. I think the main threat from Dremmer is the person who he has placed here right now. I may make another threat for Dremmer if he just decides to come here in full force. So, grotesque. Perversion of birth. Impulse. Impulse of a perversion of birth is to craves overthrow, mass or chaos, the ruin of all. It could be one of these. 4. It could be neither. Or none. Who is the wolf? What do they need guns for? Well, what do they need guns for? What does anyone need guns for? Who is getting the guns? Like, these are not... It's not a gun or two. This is like the suitcase... Not the suitcase, the duffel bag full of guns. This is lots of people's guns. So, firstly, this is definitely, again, and honestly, no doubt about it, an indoor threat. That's what lots of these are starting as for now. I'm feeling that, again, the rig is a very isolated, not isolated, but it's quite literally a walled-in place, so a lot of these are threats on the inside, especially with all the NPCs that got created. They're not going to end up that way. I think that most of these will lead to things happening. Fun things happening. As players, not as characters. Who is the wolf? I don't think why matters at this point. I think Mimi is important as a thing in this. I think Mimi doesn't think they see her. And I'm going to leave that as a stakes question. Do they recognize Mimi? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. And what else? I think that's mostly... I'll do the countdown next. Then we will return, see if there are any more questions. So, oh yeah, oh definitely. Forget who is the wolf. Who are the wolves? There's more than one. I'll change this. Who is the alpha wolf? Now, alpha wolf is literally a warlord type. To hunt and dominate. But I don't mean this in that way. This is still a grotesque who craves overthrow. They are an alpha wolf in sheep's clothing. So they are spreading dissent amongst the shepherds. They are not good. I might make this brutes if there's multiple. You can have, yeah. Hunting pack, to victimize anyone vulnerable. Enforcers, to victimize anyone who stands out. Cult, to victimize and incorporate people. Family, they don't sound like brutes. Warlords, to hunt and to dominate. Prophet, to denounce and overthrow. I like that better. To denounce. Warlord, prophet. Prophet. Impulse. To denounce and overthrow. So he speaks in favor of Dremor, of the warm place. Of how he can bring his warmth here. They don't need walls, hopefully, with Dremor. Neither will we. This is what the alpha wolf, whoever they are, says to the other shepherds. Get them on their side. The alpha wolf... recruits a pack. Recruits its pack. That's one of the things. Yeah, that's the first thing. Next. Oh, this is so perfect. Because Felice has been planning, because of the attack, Felice is like, okay, we're going to put we're going to put like full security, double, triple the number of shepherds on for a while until we know that these creatures have left. Double, triple the number of shepherds, still like 5 or 6 shepherds out there, which means that's a small enough group where you can talk and recruit. So the alpha wolf, well, that's its hunting ground. The other shepherds. What are they going to do? Their vision of the future is to overthrow Felice. And there's a lot of like secrets and stuff here. I think these guys are going to go... Let's go with violent. I think they're going to be more forceful than normal. I think, who will they want on their side for recruiting? They'd obviously want Mercer. Important figures are recruited. Mercer, player characters, Gam. Gam is a very important person who, if he can support this, that's excellent. And then also, like, they're just gonna proposition to everyone about, like, hey, do you want to join us? And Haas. Now, not everyone's gonna join. Everyone. Let's see. What else have we got? Anyone else who would join against Fleet? Possibly. Like, Bean would never, it's his mom. And then none of the regulars are important enough. To be an important figure. They might join the pack, though. So, next. Next, they start pushing. How do they start pushing? They have their important people. They believe that they have the support they need to take over, to maintain order if they take over. So, any last thing before 9 o'clock? I don't like... No, that doesn't work. One more thing, because the purge begins is not here. That is here. I need something from before then. Like, I need something concrete. Not like restless, like things get restless or anything like that. I think that... What do they need? The general public is recruited. The wolf pack grows. And then the purge begins. Fleece is dead. That is 11 o'clock, actually. That's not 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, the Alpha Wolf... Now, the Alpha Wolf is going to step forward fairly quickly, but I don't know who they are right now. The Alpha Wolf takes command. And I'm very much making that paired with this. I'm going to see how these two tick and how they affect each other. Who is the Alpha Wolf? Did they recognize Mimi? Because that was the Alpha Wolf, for sure. Which important figures will join the pack? Which of Whisk's regulars will join? Will any of the PCs join? Now, I think that's all the threats. A few things to do. I want to make a custom move or two. And there's this section here that says connected threats. Now that the threats are done, we can connect them to each other and then build our threat map. Then we're done. So, let's see what we've got. Let's go through them again. We have 12. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 12 threats. So we've got the rig, which is an affliction for the people. I need the immigrants to the rig. They're an affliction delusion to dominate people's choices and actions. The endless stream of people into the rig looking for hope. Hope, and I'll just go with hope. Mimi, bubbly enigma. That is too zoomed out. I can't read that. I think it's camo. I almost said coma. Other way around. Fleece the Flockmaster. Lit's a single mom with 2 kids. At this point, I still don't know of any other description people that I want to add. So that's perfect. How will the crowds affect Mimi and all of that. So that's all good. Okay, let's just go through this and finish this up. Other cast for this, the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, Mimi, Mercer, definitely important in this. I think that, I don't want to say the Alpha Wolf because it might be one of those. Don't know for sure. And Whisk's regulars, I'll have there already. I think that's it for a specific cast. What threats are this connected to? Fleece's recruitment, obviously. That will heavily affect it. What else will affect that? Not that. Maybe that, but probably not. Bean being a dick, maybe not. Grigsby's informants. Nope. The Fish Fields. Red Fox 1. Gam's buyout. Whisk's regulars. Grigsby security. The immigrants to the rig. Oh, they're totally gonna knock out. Hold on. Fleece is Dead is here. I think they're gonna start with The Purge begins with the studio. Wasn't someone else attacking the studio? I don't want to have it when it doesn't make sense for both of them. Oh, okay, nope. I'm going to undo that. Can I just Control Z? Okay. I'll just go with The Purge begins. I think this is Dremmer, and honestly, probably this is Dremmer too. Like, he's just multiple threats. Connected threats so far, Fleece's recruitment is the only one that I see. That's really the big deal. Except for the fact that they're both Dremmer. So, Grigsby's informants. Bam. Done. Super done, that part. Anything with finding the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, I don't have any specific moves in mind for that. Fleece's recruitment, I don't have anything specific in mind for that either, moves-wise. Connected threats, obviously because Fleece is investigating Kim, and Kim's secret admirer is. Those are very heavily related. Any other things? Grigsby's Informants, Red Fox 1, not really much of a threat right now because we haven't even seen it in action. Gamma's Buyout, Risk Regulars, Grigsby Security, Bean is a dick. Nope. Okay, that's it. Okay. And I'm just gonna... Fleece's recruitment. That Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Okay, next, Kim's Secret Admirer is obviously connected to Fleece's recruitment. Is it connected to anything else? Haas's obsession? Now, I'm pretty sure it's Litz. I've already said it's Litz. It fits too perfectly. So, I think that it might not be. Gamma's Buyout, Risk's Regulars. That's what it's connected to. Done. This is the one that has a lot of stuff. Haas taking people, why, what happens to them. Now, I have in the stakes here, are they alive and how have they changed? I'm also getting a phone call from Massachusetts. Gonna mute myself and answer this while still live because I don't think it'll take long. It's probably just... yeah. Sorry about that. It was work calling. I work for myself. That was a client, or potential client. So that's good. Yay. Work. Being able to do work. So, what I was saying was I am going to keep the stage questions here of are they alive? How have they changed? Because I think that that's different. I think they can be dead and still start changing. If they are, I think they could be alive and still start changing. I think they can have changed a bit no matter what. And then this is like, yeah, this is a minor change. How have they changed? This is a big change. So I'm going to keep those there. Yeah. Connected threats. To Haas's obsession. They are connected to Gam's buyout through Rolf Ball. And I think that's it. Okay. What's next? That's done, that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Bean is a dick. Related to Gam's buyout, because they both have interested in that whole shtick. And it is related to Whisk's regulars, because which of Whisk's regulars will Bean hurt? Now, Grigsby's Informants, that's obviously related to Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. We've already talked about that. And then I think it's also, of course, related to Grigsby's security threat. Then, the fish fields. What's this related to? Nope. 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 Maybe the vehicle could be related to Red Fox 1. Just because you're only going to take the vehicle out usually onto the fish fields. Anything else? Being Grigsby? No. The immigrants. Oh, the immigrants, totally. Alright. Gamma's buyout is connected to... Does he talk about... Oh no, it's related to Haas's obsession. And Bean being a dick. And Whisk's regulars. I already have that related to, well, that will be related to the immigrants as well. And that will be related to Kim's secret admirer. These are actually going pretty well in terms of relation to each other. All of them have their own sort of triangles. I am surprised myself. Now this, I don't know anything about it except of course it's connected to this, Grigsby's informants. Because we don't know about the security team at all right now. So, Grigsby's informants. And the immigrants to the rig. That is connected to the fish fields. That is connected to the, what was the other one? Whisk's regulars. Let's make us a threat map. So most of these are on the inner side. Because like northwest, east, and south don't really come into play much. I have 12 threats. So let's get started. So, let's just name them all here. And then I will place them where I need to. Oops. Oh yeah, 14 is good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The fish fields. Red Fox 1, aka the vehicle. That goes right in here. Next, what do we got? Wolf in sheep's clothing. Now, is that moving specifically away from the PCs or to it? I will figure that out afterwards. Grigsby's informants. That's right in here. Grigsby's security. That's also right in here. What have we got? Kim's secret admirer. That's also right in here, because it's about specifically Kim's secret that they own, sort of. Haas's obsession, that is something else. Felice's recruitment. Bean is a dick. Now we have 3 more. Let me see if I can remember them. Gamma's buyout. That's another one. What else? Two more that I am blanking on. That's done that. Whisks regulars. And the other ones, it looks like I've all done. I'm looking at them, they all seem familiar. Whisks regulars is one. That's the main page, which there's a drawing of a sheep. Did I put one too many? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I did put. I was just forgetting that one. Okay, cool. So Red Fox 1, Kim's Secret Admirer, and that's Kim related stuff. This is Grigsby related stuff. This is Whisks related stuff. Now Gamma's buyout is on the PCs and the resources because Gam wants specifically the wood stove. That's what he wants. And Bean wants the wood stove gone. There we go. Wolf in sheep's clothing. That is stuff happening specifically to overthrow Fleece. They want people on their side to overthrow Fleece. So I think this is somewhere out. I don't think it's not Super Psychic Maelstrom related. It's not literally above or below. So I'm thinking it is in Fleece's recruitment, Psychic Maelstrom related. And if Kim doesn't intervene, Fleece is going to change. Don't know if it'll be for the better or worse, depending on the circumstances of everything else. Haas's obsession, the abducting people, all of that. I'm thinking it's also going to be in because it's affecting the people close, and it's close to everyone, and people are just going to keep on getting abducted. But infrequently, unless someone investigates, so it's related to the PCs. It's not super far away. The Immigrants to the Rig, currently super far away. It's not going to stay that way. Fishfields, well, it's in, but it's not really close by. The Fishfields, again, I think I've always thought of them as north, but they are closer. Okay. There's way less here than I thought there was. Yeah, I think, let me check with some of this stuff. Wrong page. The Immigrants to the Rig, they're farther away right now, because they're on the way. Oh, there's two of them here. Go away. The Grigsby Securities in Whisks Regulars. Nope, they are literally Whisks. Well, it says the PCs and the resources, not the people. But regulars are kind of a thing. I think that will be out there, so I'll move this. But that is specifically to her place, and these he owns, like, mechanically. Whisk has regulars, but they don't have an obligation to Grigsby, to Whisk the way Grigsby's people have to him. So that's good. The Fishfields, north, close. Grigsby's informants there. Bean is a dick. This should be moved. It affects specifically Bean being a dick and doing whatever he can to get rid of Whisk and the wood stove. Or at least stop them from giving away food for free. So I think he might be involved somehow in the whole, like, immigrant, too many, like, rations deal. Wolf in sheep's clothing, that's good. Fleece's recruitment, that's good. Kim's secret admirer, that's good. Haas's obsession. That is also a threat from the Psychic Maelstrom. In a way. You're right. I'm right. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna move it. Good job, past me. I'm going to up the, now that I know that these aren't going to be squeezed together. Alright. Is that it? That is it. Thank you, anyone who might be watching, for watching. This is a much slower, more inexperienced prep for Apocalypse World. Took me like 3 hours. Then yeah, it's much more inexperienced and slower than you might expect. Because when you watch Adam, he knows Apocalypse World. He's played plenty of it for a while. I love Apocalypse World. I know Dungeon World pretty well, but I have not GM'd Apocalypse World before. So, and also, I was given, I was force fed a lot of NPCs and a lot of threat stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I think more than most games. You got your news, which is like, here's 6 NPCs and a security team and a studio. Threats, threats, threats. That's half a dozen threats more right there. And then, not literally, as you can see. And then you've got a Maestro D. So there's all the regulars, and then a threat for someone who wants it gone, and then a threat for someone you owe it. I didn't actually make a threat for Rolf Ball. I think Rolf Ball, as I said earlier, Rolf Ball is owed, and I think it'll color perception. I don't think he's quite threat level yet, though. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Tune in this Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It always switches. Yeah. Enjoy Apocalypse World.